Hi, I'm Ashy, and today we are going to do a fill a page in my sketchbook. And so it is getting to be definitely summer now, especially where I live in Texas. And so we're going to do sunglasses today, and we're just going to fill a page with sunglasses and play with shape and color and highlight and shadows and just see what happens. And this is just about having fun and enjoying creating shapes and watching color happen on your sketchbook page. So let's flow right into it. So I just have my setup here. It's my normal kind of Winsor & Newton professional paints. Just make sure that they're nice and wet. I have a few different brushes here. I'm not going to use these large ones, so I'm going to put those away. But I'm probably going to mostly use this size 10 round Degato artist brush because it has a nice point. But maybe I'll play with some flat brushes or different shapes. I don't know, but probably mostly round because that's what I tend to stick with because I can pretty much make any shape that I want with that. I grabbed a pair of my kids' sunglasses here and I can kind of set it in front of me to get different angles and different views so that I have a variety. And so I'm going to use that as kind of my inspiration, but not for colors necessarily. I'm going to do just a variety of colors. So we're just going to start. And then, I also have my uni pen fine liners here, a bunch of different sizes of nibs. I have a brown micron fine liner, Pigma micron fine liner. And then I have a bunch of different whites here. So I have Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. I have a white pastel pencil. I have, this isn't white, it's like gray, but Caran d'Ache NeoColor 2. And then I just have these white permanent markers that I got off Temu. So they're not a name brand, but I can use those for highlights after. Okay. Oops. So we're just gonna get started, jump right in, and I'm gonna start with a yellow pear first because it feels sunny and summery. So this is, the colors don't really matter, but this is Lemon Yellow Deep in case you care. And I'm just gonna start by putting a pair of sunglasses here going off the edge of the page. And just going in wet on dry. Not trying to get any bleeds or any fuzzy edges or anything right now. And it doesn't matter if they're perfect because it's just filling a sketchbook page, okay? So we don't have to be precise or anything, okay? And then I'm gonna get a little bit of yellow ochre to get a shadowy yellow because I don't feel like mixing it. And that's valid. If you don't feel like doing something, don't do something, okay? And that's going to be the arms of my yellow there, of my yellow sunglasses. Okay, and lift up where it bled. Add a little bit more to the back, thicker. So that it doesn't bleed. There we go. Okay, there's our first pair of sunglasses. I'm gonna add in the dark later. Okay, now I'm gonna do an orange pair. So this orange is pretty intense. I don't even remember what color of orange this is. I think it's cadmium scarlet maybe, or cadmium red, I don't know. But lots of water because it is a very intense orange. And I'm gonna do a larger pair kind of right here in the middle. And they can be different shapes. They don't all need to be the same shape. So maybe these ones are more round. Okay. And then maybe these ones are open, right? So we're kind of looking at them like this. Okay. So we're going to see the arm coming down there and coming down behind. Okay. Now let's do a pink pair. And maybe we're looking at them like this. So we're kind of looking down at them. So we're seeing kind of the top edge here. Okay, and then the arms are going to be coming off the back like this. Okay. All right, so I'm just holding them up in a different direction, and I'm going to do a purple one. So I'm just kind of going down the line and choosing a color from each of the families. So yellow, orange, kind of red, pink, purple. I'll do green, blue. Okay, maybe these ones are just going to be like round. Okay, so get in my two circles, connect them. And then the arms can be coming off this direction. Like they're partially closed, maybe. And right now it doesn't really matter if they look a little funky. We're gonna add in some ink later so we can adjust a little bit, okay? So don't worry about it. It's just a fun sketchbook page anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it looks funky. But we'll add in ink. Okay, green. Use a really bright green. Okay. The green up here. Okay, blue, use cobalt. And I'm really just drawing these in super loosely, okay? It's not precise. If you want to play around and add some shadows around where the lenses would be, you can do that. If you want to do whatever you want, you can add some variety, okay? So maybe there's a bit of a shadow here. Okay. Add a little bit of a shadow on the orange, just to kind of bump it up a little bit. Just adding a little bit of contrast. Okay, so that's just adding some depth here. Okay, those ones look really funky, but that's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, now apparently I put my hand all up in this one. That's okay though. Let's splatter some to make that look less out of place. There we go. Now for gray, I'm just going to use Payne's gray because I don't really feel like mixing a gray. So sometimes, again, it's valid. If you have convenience colors, you're allowed to use them. Okay, so I'm just going to loosely put that in for the lenses. And it doesn't have to cover the whole thing. You can start by putting in some of that color and then washing it out, and then you're going to get a gradient. Okay. So brush in some of that color. And then clean the brush and drag it out to fill in the rest. You can edit the shape a little bit as you're doing this if you want, because this is a darker color, so it'll go over all of your lighter colors. And obviously, if you want yours to be less messy, wait for it to dry before putting your hand in it. But I don't care. This is just a fun little sketchbook page for me. It's not about being perfect or precise. And just enjoy painting in those colors, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna take my fine liners. I'm gonna take a 0.5, which is kind of a decent size. It's not super heavy, but it's not like super, super fine point either. And I'm just gonna loosely sketch out the shapes here. And it doesn't have to be perfectly outlined or anything. It's going to look more lively if you don't outline it perfectly. Now, some areas it's still wet, so it's going to not go over those areas as well or at all. Okay, see, just a nice loose sketch over it. And it doesn't have to be a continuous sketch either. You can have broken spaces. Okay. And then you want to add some details with some ink, you can. So add the little like ovals here, like we have on this in black. I don't know. Let's kind of play with it. So there I went a little bit darker on these crossing ones so that you could tell which ones were in front. And same thing here, though this is still wet, so it's kind of washing out my pen. Need to wait a second. Let my pen come back. But apparently I'm too impatient to wait a second, so you know. Okay. All right, let's go in with some white. So we can try the white pastel pencil for some highlights, you know, and kind of add in some highlights. You're going to get more texture with that. And it's going to be kind of a grayish white because it's not completely opaque, so you're seeing stuff through that. The Caran d'Ache is gray, it's not white, so you're gonna see that that's much more gray. So on this like dark part, it'll show up pretty well, but it's very gray. I'm gonna try one of these permanent markers and see how that works. And that's a lot more opaque. Okay. Adding in some highlights on those sunglasses, on the lenses mostly. Okay, and then a little bit on some of the frames. Just to get some more variety. There we go. And there's our fill a sketchbook page with sunglasses. So this one is really fun. You can use all your different colors, splatters, bleeds, and just play with it and just focus on staying really loose. And you can draw them out first if you want, and then paint them after, or you can just go straight in and paint them. So like maybe I'll add one in the background here, or a couple in the background here, just with ink. So I went down to a 0.3, just so that it's a little bit thinner. And I'm gonna add a few back behind, okay? Just to fill in some of these empty spaces. That's a funky nose area. It's really wide. That's okay though. Okay, so these ones are gonna be like wire ones maybe. So just a little bit of connection there. And then they're gonna be folded. Okay. And then for the lenses, I can just do some hatching to add the darkness. And it doesn't have to be filled in all the way by any means. There we go. Those ones I kind of like. Maybe some, like, I don't have these sunglasses in front of me. I don't know what aviators look like, but they're a lot bigger and a little bit more oval. I don't know. That's fine. We'll do it like that. And then maybe they're sitting this way. There we go. Okay. So that's just something you can add if you want to just draw some in to fill in some spaces. It's not necessary. None of it's necessary. I mean, it's just for fun art, right? So enjoy yourself and just add in as much as you want. And it's just a fun sketchbook page, so you can make it as full as you want or as empty as you want. But I hope you are ready for summer and that you have some fun plans, even if those plans just involve sitting and painting in your sketchbook. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Give it a like if you did, and please check out my channel for tons more content. Subscribe. There's lots of real-time tutorials and tons of informational content on watercolor and painting. Thanks again. Have an awesome day, and until next time, keep those paints flowing.